you sit alone in the dark contemplating how best to kill people you've never actually met in real life? Or are you one of those freaks who goes out and tries to socialize and interact with people like an absolute moron? My name is Javan Azrael, and Wacko's an ass. Mobile gaming. Where do I start? It's very much what I consider to be where I actually got my start in the gaming world. Yeah, I did have a computer when I was a kid, but the only thing I really had on there was stuff like the Magic School Bus goes to the rainforest and goes to the ocean, and Jumpstart First Grade, and not trashing them because they were very much useful learning tools for me as a kid, but I don't, especially now, count that as like actual video gaming. My first real experience with video gaming, where it was mine and I owned it and I could do with it what I wanted, was a Game Boy Advance that I got from a friend, and it was very much an escape that I could kind of just go wherever I wanted to with it. We had video games on the PC in our house afterwards, and I kind of had to earn time on that, doing various things, whether it was instrument practice or exercise and other things. It worked. But with handhelds and even stuff like phone gaming, when I had a cell phone that actually played games, I could kind of do that whenever I wanted. And yeah, there were restrictions on, like, I couldn't just sit there and play all day, but there were no restrictions on me being able to do this. So that's, to me, I feel that mobile gaming is better. You can kind of go anywhere with it. Nintendo's been doing a really good job of it recently with games that they've been putting out. The Nintendo Switch that just came out was like, that was their main selling point. You can go and do shit while playing your game. The social aspect behind gaming, outside of, you know, I have to bring all these people to my house or bring all my stuff to my friend's house to be able to play with my friends, is, I guess, it's more appealing to me because I'm a lonely person who craves human contact, and by myself am a depressing person, much like right now, alone on the screen.
Console gaming. At least for people of my generation, that was really where we got our start. To be completely honest, my first personal gaming whatever would have to be the original Game Boy. But at the same time, that was kind of a side piece. My Sega Genesis was like my true first like gaming love. It was what I came home to every day. Yeah, I had my Game Boy, and yeah, I spent a lot of time on that. But I definitely was very connected to my gaming consoles. I do agree that there's a lot of problems with being at home gaming, at least nowadays. But back when gaming consoles first came out, it was this new experience. Computers weren't even really, or at least personal computers weren't even really a grand idea. Like having a computer at home, I actually had one at home, and I would look at it and say, what are you really going to do with that? So to be able to have something that you could do at home, aside from fucking around with your brothers and sisters and playing hide and seek, or Pokemon cards were a thing at the time, but to have these games to look forward to after school and different things like that was definitely an experience, and that did carry on with me throughout my life. But I feel like the reason why console gaming is so great is because it's definitely evolved, and it's not necessarily taking a back seat in any way, but it's becoming integrated into other things. I mean, look at the Xbox One, for example. It's incorporating TV into its own system. The PlayStation 4 is incorporating streaming. And I mean, if you look at where the personal computer has gone, we have it all on the PC. Like we can play games, we can stream, and like we have internet that does so many things that a handheld can and has done, but it has that benefit that we had growing up of inviting your friends over and playing games, and it kind of fills in those cracks of having too many friends, not having enough controllers, or maybe it's a rainy day and your friend can't come over, or maybe your parents just wouldn't allow you to be over at other people's houses. That was kind of my situation. So now with that element of the internet, we're capable of connecting with people all over the world and doing things on these incredibly powerful devices. And I think that that's something that's only going to get better and only going to be added onto. So I would definitely say that console gaming is, let's say, quality. I would say that console gaming is definitely the more quality experience, because there's so much being added onto it and conceptualized for it every day.
I feel like we've been here before. Have we been here before? I'm pretty sure I just sat here listening to him make a bunch of points for my case. Mobile gaming has done nothing but grow since it started. He was talking about the Game Boy. I remember that. I didn't have one because I was poor and sheltered, but I remember that. And now we have the Nintendo Switch. High-def gaming that I can put on my TV as a console or leave my house with, and using the internet, another point that he used for his little ice cream sundae spiel there, to be social with other people with the console. I don't have to go to people's houses with my console to see people. I can take my handheld and do that wherever, because I also have the internet. When the 3DS came out, the companies that have been making stuff for the consoles have been doing their best to make stuff mobily as well, with the exception of Microsoft, because I guess they think they're just too fucking good. So instead of making a mobile and a home console, they made two home consoles. So you have PCs and Xboxes, and an Xbox is basically a dumbed down PC that I can't write papers on. Not to say that PCs are amazing. PC, Master Race, cough cough, something like that. I can't take it with me. I mean, I can, and I've traveled with my PC before, and the more the time goes on and the better my PC gets, or the better my console gets, the less willing I am to travel with it. When I have the 3DS, I have the case I can put it in. Same with the PS Vita, the PSP. I'm sure the Switch comes with a case. I haven't seen it because I haven't done a lot of looking at it. But all these things have different ways to protect them. And once I've spent over $300 on computer parts, I no longer want my computer to leave the house. So I can't really go anywhere with that. And the same thing goes for consoles. Like, yeah, I can put it in a bag and take it somewhere, but it's still really fucking terrifying to, you know, that's a lot to travel with. And not to say that, you know, handhelds aren't the same, because, you know, that shit's expensive too, but, you know, it's meant to be mobile. It's not necessarily built more sturdy and more ready to go, but it's designed with that in mind. Like I said, the internet is just as viable for mobile gaming as it is for console gaming. Cell phones. I'm playing it. A lot of my friends are playing it right now. Fire Emblem Heroes requires the internet to play, and my internet's almost gone from playing that game, but it's something that I do on the internet while I'm out and about. So that I don't really feel like that's a point for your case either. You confused silly sap. So grab your shit and travel. Go play with your friends. Like a freak.
I don't know where to start with your dumbass. Okay, let's start right here. High-def gaming. Ha! Let's not call the Nintendo Switch for the time being high-def gaming. You said that if you spent at least $300 on parts, you don't want to be taking it out anywhere. I got news for you. Nintendo Switch is about a little upwards of $300. So, you gotta fucking decide. Anyway, moving on to why consoles are better. You said that I was making your points for you, and like that's such a weak argument. Let me just say this. Yes, mobile phones and things like the 3DS have online functionality. Yeah, you can play your friends in different games. However, there's just a different mindset that goes into it when you're talking about console gaming. You can actually play against your friends, and in a lot of manners, you're not really capable of doing that with a lot of games. For example, there are games like Monster Hunter, in which it's 100% a cooperative game, and I do respect that, and that's definitely a high point in the console or the handheld gaming's favor. But you can do that shit all the time in console gaming. That's a high exception for mobile games. Yeah, you have things like Pokemon Go, and that's probably the best example you're gonna get in regards of a mobile phone having some kind of player-to-player functionality. And even then, it's not necessarily the extent that you can go on something that's as powerful as a console game.
There's no player-to-player functionality in Pokemon Go.
Egg-fucking-exactly! Oh, you have a team? Yeah, that has a little connectivity. Oh, you guys can go inside of gyms and you can battle other gyms? Oh, that's all fine and dandy, but you can't play against other players, can you? You can't actually battle them. You can battle the Pokemon that they've set up. But if you were to talk about what would happen on a home console games have constantly been evolving. Let's take Destiny, for example. MMORPGs have been existing on personal computers for decades. But now we finally have them on a far less powerful console. That the same can't really be said with handhelds. And like Destiny's, I have kind of
Destiny's
tepid.
a Galizia.
I was gonna say I have a tepid opinion of the game itself, but the concept and the execution are still high and above anything that the handhelds have pulled off. In regards to other things you were saying, yeah, you can take your games to your handheld gaming devices to your friend's house, but that doesn't necessarily negate the idea that I was saying. If for whatever reason you're incapable of doing so, you can't go over to your friend's house. I have friends that are across the country. I'm not going to be able to actually go over to their houses whenever I want, but I can still play with them on the different games that console gaming offers.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you over friend codes.
Okay, and what are you gonna do with it? You can't play Monster Hunter with online. You have to do local play.
I've never exchanged friend code with somebody. I don't know.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna do Pokemon battles?
Ew.
Yeah, okay, international Pokemon battles. That's not necessarily an upgrade from what we've been doing for the past 20 years. Fire Emblem, okay, you can send your team out and they can battle against other people, but you're not actually playing against them, which is a downgrade for intelligent systems when you consider that you actually could play against other people on the regular DS in Advance Wars. I mean, granted...
Weren't you on at the same time with that, though?
What?
Weren't you on at the same time with that in Advance Wars?
Yeah, you were. That's what I'm saying. It's a downgrade because you can't do that on Fire Emblem Fates.
I no longer have to be on at the same time as the person I'm playing with. Like, yes, I'm no longer playing with my friend, but I no longer have to be on with them at the same time to play with them.
But you're not playing with them. You're playing against their file, but you're not playing with them. On a powerful console like a PC, or even the PS4 or the Xbox One, you can actually play against them. You have that player-to-player functionality that is still kind of developing for handheld consoles. I don't know if I really need to go on, because my points haven't really been argued against. They've been put down, but they haven't really been...
The best argument I have is tearing yours apart.
Essentially. He's a hater, ladies and gentlemen. But that was just our opinions. Obviously, there's no reason not to play both handhelds and consoles. I mean, Unless you're broke like me.
Or me. Why are we doing this conversation?
Yeah, I can't afford a PS4. Fuck you talking. I just mooch off of Cass.
I had to bankrupt myself for a 3DS.
Yeah, but you do that like every Tuesday. Anyway, like, tell us what you guys think. Are you guys more console gamers? Are you more handheld? Honestly, I only really have the time to play handhelds for the time being because of all the ridiculous bullshit commutes that I'm making.
To talk about.
Yeah, you fucking forgot. So there's plenty of reasons to like both. Tell us what you guys think. Let us know what you thought of the video. Let us know if you want to see more of things like this. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the video with a like if you really liked our discussion. And we'll see you guys next time.
Or hit it with a dislike if you didn't. Because that's fine too.